Hey guys, it's Yudim here, and today we're going to talk a little bit more on the settings you should have for your FPS games. There's two main parts for this. First of all being the video or graphics setting, as we would like to call it, and second of all is your mouse sensitivity. So in the first part, graphics. Of course, turning on higher graphics settings will always enhance your gaming experience. However, in first-person shooter games, it's important to know that frames per second means that you can actually see the person maybe a fraction earlier. So it's always better to lower down your settings so that your FPS, frames per second, can reach a certain number. This is more important if you already have a high refresh rate monitor, like a 144Hz monitor. If your game is running less than 144, it means that you aren't using your monitor fully. So which settings are better to be lowered? For example, in Counter-Strike, the shaders, the textures, those can be lowered, other than the shadows, because it's very important that you have a shadow in your gameplay. So you always leave it as low or medium. And everything else you can put down to low because it doesn't really affect the gameplay experience. It'll give you a strong frames per second boost while sacrificing a small amount or medium amount of clarity. After you have your changes, where do you find how many frames per second do you have? In Counter-Strike, you can type in this command in your command block. Remember that these settings can also be applied to Valorant, and a lot of ways that you can push up your frames per second. And the better thing is that, well, Valorant has a built-in frames per second counter, so you can know how much frames you're getting at all times. Also remember to turn off motion blur, as it blurs out quick images in your screen. It may look smoother, but you will miss a chance to see where your enemy is. Also, some people may have motion sickness due to this feature. Please be reminded that the amount of frames you get differs from map to map, so look into it deeper and then make some changes if necessary. Now, let's move on to the second thing, the mouse sensitivity. Mouse sensitivity is a huge discussion in the FPS community, whether you should play high sensitivity or low sensitivity. However, if you're coming from other games, for example, League of Legends or other MOBAs, you may tend to set your mouse settings very high sensitivity so that you can move your mouse as fast as possible. However, in FPS games, accuracy is more important than speed, so it's very important to lower your sensitivity. So how much should you lower your sensitivity? Normally, I judge it by using the amount of mouse movement you can afford. For example, if your mouse pad is small, then your sensitivity should be higher to compensate it so that you will have enough place to look at. Or if your mouse pad is larger, you can have a lower sensitivity to compensate it. But the general rule of thumb is that your mousepad's most right side to your mousepad's most left side should be around 180 to 270 degrees in game. With that setting, when your mouse is in the middle, all the way to the left will be 90 to 120 degrees, while to the right is the same. In competitive FPS, most of the fights you take will be from a direction that you know already, so you won't need the high sensitivity for cool flicks or anything like that. You just need the accuracy that comes with a lower sensitivity. I'll put some popular DPI and sensitivity on the screen for Valorant and CS, so that if you want to be lazy, you can start from there and change the settings. And this is the end of the video. If you think this video helped you out, please subscribe, or you can visit other videos that is also in the channel, see if they helped you out as well.